If you've been thinking about moving to Smithville or you've already made the decision, there are some things about this place that nobody really warns you about. Some of them are amazing, and some of them might catch you off guard. All of them are things I wish somebody had told me when I first moved my family to Smithville. I'm David Hildebrand, your local Smithville and West Lincoln real estate agent with RE/MAX Escarpment. I live right here in Smithville with my family, and I help people just like you make this exact move every single week. And I would love to help you as well. If you've been going back and forth in your head about moving your family to Smithville and don't know where to start, I've put together a totally free buyer relocation guide specifically for people making this move. It walks you through what your budget gets here, the different neighborhoods, the commute reality, all of it. The link is in the description below. It's free, you can grab it now. All right, let's get into the 10 things I wish people had told me about. Number 1, it's not as small as most people think it is. Most people picture Smithville as being a tiny crossroads or a small town. Now, compared to Hamilton or Toronto, yes, it is small, but small doesn't mean there's nothing to do here in Smithville. Smithville has a walkable downtown core, a grocery store, Tim Hortons, obviously, restaurants, pharmacies, as well as a library, splash pad, parks, community center, and more. The town has been growing steadily, and the new development on the west side of town is bringing in young families and new amenities with it. It's not in the middle of nowhere, it's a real functioning community. And honestly, once you've lived here for a few months, it starts to feel just the right size. Number 2 is that it can be stinky. All right, we have to be upfront about this one because it catches a lot of the buyers I work with off guard when they first come here, and that is the smell. Welcome to the edge of farm country. Depending on the time of year and the wind direction, you may catch a scent of manure spreading season. It is real agricultural out here, and that's part of what makes this area so beautiful and affordable. But if you've never lived near working farmland, that first spring can be memorable. The good news, you're going to get used to it incredibly fast. And when I say incredibly fast, probably within your first week, you'll stop to notice it as much. Locals barely even register it anymore. But I'd rather be honest with you now than have a call later on that you're surprised by the smell. Okay, number 3 is that the country roads are way better than cluttered highways. Here's something that actually surprises a lot of people, is that even though you're further away from things, driving down country roads is genuinely enjoyable. After sitting for years in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the QEW or 403, hopping into your car and cruising around a quiet country road with farms on both sides is honestly kind of therapeutic. You don't dread running errands the same way. Yes, you still have to go to the highway to commute into the city, but the daily in-town driving, getting to a neighbor's place, heading to a grocery store, doing the school run, it's all a completely different experience than fighting traffic lights and congestion every time you leave the driveway. Number 4, internet varies depending on the street. This is one that's extremely important for those of you that work from home, and a lot of buyers are working from home these days. Internet in Smithville is not uniform. Some streets have fiber in the newer neighborhoods, some neighborhoods still have cable or DSL, and the difference between a great fiber connection and a slower legacy internet connection can be the difference for you if you work from home and do regular video calls. I've had buyers fall in love with a house and then realize that the internet isn't fast enough for them, and so we weren't able to proceed with a deal. The fix is simple. Before you make an offer, check the address with Bell and local internet providers. It takes 5 minutes. And if the internet speed is critical to your life and work, and most people, that's the case, just ask me. I do it with buyers regularly. Number 5 is lower property taxes, but lower services as well. I talk a lot about the lower property taxes in Smithville and West Lincoln, and they are genuinely lower than Hamilton, no question. But there is a flip side to that, and it's worth talking about. Smaller municipalities have smaller budgets. So while you're saving money on taxes, you may also notice that some services move a little more slowly. Road repairs might take a little longer. Snow clearing on side streets can lag behind what you're used to in the city. And municipal programs just have less bandwidth than a large urban government. For most people, that's a totally fair trade. You're saving thousands of dollars every year. But if you're used to city-level service speed and responsiveness, it's worth calibrating your expectations. The community more than makes up for it in other ways, but it's something to know going in. Number 6 is a strong community culture. Okay, this is one that you have to experience in order to fully understand, but I'm going to try and describe it. Smithville has a genuinely strong sense of community. People here just show up for each other. At local events, at the farmers market, at school functions, you see the same faces, and over time, those faces become people you actually get to know. Your neighbors wave at you. The staff at the local shops remember your name. It's a level of social connection that is increasingly rare and is genuinely valuable. I hear this from almost every family who makes the move within their first year. They say they feel more connected here than they ever did when they lived in the city, even though they technically know fewer people. That's the paradox of small town life, and it's one of the best things about Smithville. Number 7 is the soil here is super hard clay. Now this might seem like something that's a small thing and something that might not matter to you, but if you're a gardener or a landscaper and you plan to do any work in your yard at all, you need to know this. The soil is super hard. It's heavy, heavy clay. When it's wet, it sticks to everything, and when it's dry, it bakes solid. Planting a garden here is not the same as planting a garden in sandy loam soil. Some people are caught off guard when they move here from a city with sandy soil, and they try to dig their first hole, and what they feel like is that they're digging into concrete. Number 8 is that snow clearing takes patience. If you're moving from the city, you might be used to streets getting plowed within a few hours of snowfall. In Smithville and West Lincoln, the municipal snow clearing covers a larger geographic area with a smaller fleet of trucks. So on some of the side streets and rural roads, clearing can take a little bit longer. What this means is you just have to plan ahead on snow days. If you know a storm is coming, don't assume your street will be clear by 7 a.m. Connect with some of your neighbors, and in rural areas especially, people tend to look out for each other. It's not a deal breaker. It's just a lifestyle adjustment that's worth knowing up front. Number 9, events feel personal in the best way. Here's something that genuinely surprised me. Community events in Smithville feel different than they do in the city. They feel personal. The Christmas parade, the Smithville Fair, summer nights at the park, community fundraisers, they aren't massive, impersonal gatherings where you're a face in a crowd of thousands. They're events where you run into people you know, where local businesses actually show up and participate, and where the organizers are your neighbors. After years of going to city festivals where I felt anonymous, I came to Smithville and I actually discovered something really grounding about going to local events and feeling like I was actually a part of the event. It's one of those things that people mention to me a lot after they move here, and it's hard to put a price on what it means to feel deeply connected to the community you're in. All right, number 10 is one of our more relatable topics, and that is that there are fewer food delivery options. I saved this one for last because it's something that a lot of people from the city would never even think of as they move to a small town. If you're used to having DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Skip the Dishes at your fingertips every weeknight at 10 p.m., That's just not something you're going to get here in Smithville. You're going to need to recalibrate the way you think. Now, Smithville does have restaurants. They're pretty good restaurants. But the delivery coverage from the big apps can be limited, and your options at 9:30 on a weeknight are not what they would be if you're coming from Hamilton or from Toronto. What this means is you might actually have to cook dinner. The horror of it all, you have to cook. In all seriousness, most people who move here tell me that within a few months, they've already reset their expectations and have started to cook more from home and have discovered a few local spots that they love. They barely miss the delivery world at all because they've recalibrated their lifestyle. But it is at first a real adjustment, especially if you've relied heavily on delivery in the past living in a city. So there you have it. 10 things that nobody tells you when you're thinking about moving to Smithville. The clay soil, the stinky spring mornings, the internet checks, the slower snowplows, but also the good things, the community that will surprise you, the roads that will bring you relaxation in a way that the QEW can never do, and the events that make you feel like you belong somewhere. No place is perfect, but I genuinely believe that for the right family, especially if you're feeling priced out, squeezed, or just craving more space and a slower lifestyle, Smithville and West Lincoln offer something very special. And now you know what you're actually signing up for. If you still want to make the move to Smithville after watching this video, honestly, that's a pretty good sign. It means you're going into your move with your eyes wide open. And those are usually the people that love it here the most. Again, if you want to go even deeper, I've put together a completely free buyer relocation guide for 2026 moving to Smithville and West Lincoln. It covers neighborhoods, schools, market data, the real cost of living, all of it. If you want access to that free guide, just click the link in the description and you can download that today absolutely free. If you're ready to talk about what a move to Smithville could potentially look like for you and your family, you can also book a call in the description below, or you can call or text me directly anytime at 905-353-5149. There's no pressure, there's no sales pitch, it's just an honest conversation about your real estate needs. If any of this surprised you, you're gonna wanna watch the video that I have next. I did a full breakdown of the real pros, cons, and local secrets of living here in Smithville. It's the stuff people don't talk about until you actually live here. It's gonna be right here, and I will see you guys in the next video.